Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. The NFL season is set to kick off in just a few short weeks, and for one last time, it is time to take a look at some MVP value plays in the NFL from Bet365 Sportsbook. Running through a few of my favorites in the favorite, middle tier, and long shot range. We'll start it off with, of course, the favorites. Looking at guys among the 6-1 guys, Cam Newton is one of them at 6-1, along with Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger, along with Tom Brady at plus 10,000. Three of those guys, because Roethlisberger's never won the award, have won 5 of the last 9 MVPs. You look at Peyton Manning, a guy that just retired, has won 3 of the last 8. You have to think that quarterbacks are the way to go in this one, as quarterbacks have won every year except for once in the last 10 years. Of course, that was Adrian Peterson's big 2012 season of over 2,000 yards. Along with Russell Wilson at 9-1, these 6 players represent the favorites here in this one, but all of them have their flaws outside of one guy, and I think that guy is Aaron Rodgers at 6-1. He's got Jordy Nelson coming back. He's got Eddie Lacy, who is no longer fat, and at 6-1, of all the guys up there that are below 10-1 or lower, I think Rodgers has to represent the favorite here in this one. In a down NFC North outside of Minnesota, the Packers could very easily win 12 or 13 games. Their defense and offensive line show up to play this season. Take a look at Rodgers at 6-1. Now, the middle tier, I think there's only one guy you have to look at between that plus 1,200 and plus 2,500 range, and that is Antonio Brown at 20-1 this season. No receiver has ever won this award, so it would take a huge year from Antonio Brown, but he's been trending up over the last 3 years. He has over 375 catches and 5,000 yards to go along with over 31 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. If he were to break Calvin Johnson's record, get well above 2,000 yards receiving, I'm talking 2,300. Another 100, maybe 140 catches and 10 to 15 touchdowns, you have to think that Antonio Brown is at least going to be in the discussion. The problem is, if he is getting that much, you have to think Ben Roethlisberger is getting even more and might steal away a bit of that value. So while he's a good play, not a great play, but still a value, I think, at 20-1. Now, the long shots, not a whole lot of guys that I like. A lot of guys that are intriguing, though, that you could talk me into. I think the best one of all of them, there's a couple, one of which is TODD GURLEY, just simply because of the upside and talent alone. He has a lot of the ability at 33-1 to win this award, but the problem is not quite there yet with that offense in the Rams. Obviously, where you're watching it firsthand on Hard Knocks, this is going to be a run-oriented offense, but not a whole lot of passing, which I think could have defenses loading up against him, game planning for him a little bit more. Teddy Bridgewater at 50-1 is a pretty good play as well, but at 80-1, I really like David Johnson at this point. The Cardinals are going to be a very, very good team, easily one of the best in the NFC this season, I think. Bruce Arians cannot afford to sit this guy down. He needs to give him the ball about 250 times, and if he has a huge year, maybe outdoes Peterson's 2012, gets around 23, 24, maybe even 2,500 all-purpose yards, I think is very, very in this guy's capability. You could look at Johnson as a MVP value play, especially if Carson Palmer is just running the offense and the running game is getting things done, obviously. Very deep running back core in Arizona. So David Johnson potentially at 80-1, pretty good value play. Those are your MVP odds update here from Bet365. Best of luck to you on any of your NFL future odds, as those are getting down to lockdown time. But until next time, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.